In 2023, it feels odd to consider this film one of this year's best, especially with other blockbuster releases like the new Mission Impossible, Indiana Jones, and Spider-Man movies. Initially, I approached the Barbie movie as a joke, half expecting it to be a laughable mess. However, after watching the movie, I genuinely enjoyed myself. The film impressively handles social issues while maintaining a fun and light-hearted essence of a Barbie movie. It's not perfect, and we'll discuss that later, but let's delve into why Barbie is so great first. One aspect that caught my attention in this movie is its characters. Though some are quite simple, Barbie and Ken notably undergo fully fleshed out character arcs. Barbie's arc is relatively straightforward. In Barbie Land, everyone is happy until she starts experiencing disturbing thoughts that aren't natural to the other Barbies, leading to her becoming more depressed. This sets the plot in motion, as Barbie sets out to find the person playing with her and make them less sad so she can also find happiness as well. Throughout the movie, Barbie breaks away from just a fashion doll, developing her own personality and gaining a new perspective on life. She becomes a multi-dimensional character with depth and agency, as well as feeling increasingly uncomfortable as she interacts with the real world, laying the groundwork for the movie's message, which we will explore later. Then there's Ken, whose sole purpose is to be with Barbie. He is only satisfied when he is acknowledged by her, creating an internal conflict throughout the movie. Taking a broader perspective on Ken's character, we see his extreme insecurity at the start of the film laid out to us. Rather than being subtly portrayed, his character foundation reminds me of HBO's Barry. Ken's a beach dude, leading a repetitive life seeking Barbie's attention until he has a life-changing experience in the real world. This event serves as the inciting incident that kickstarts the second plotline, with Ken bringing the patriarchy to Barbie Land. While this may seem like it would complete him, it makes him feel more alone than ever. This narrative device subverts expectations. What usually happens in this type of media is that the character engages something that makes it seem like the thing itself completes them. However, the more the character ensues in this behavior, the greater the consequences are when his behavior catches up to him. Picture Breaking Bad, Dexter, or Better Call Saul. It's a tale as old as time. It's interesting to see a more black and white perspective in Ken's character arc. The conflict surrounding Ken's inner demons is simple yet intriguing, prompting us to question whether Barbie Land or the real world is the better alternative to live in. The film advocates for equal rights for both Ken and Barbie to pursue what they want. The joke about Ken eventually having the same rights as women in the real world is obviously not meant to be taken seriously. Nevertheless, the film does empower characters to take risks, follow their dreams, and embrace their individuality. While it might sound like Barbie is a somewhat depressing and serious movie, the movie can be quite comical. Throughout the film, I found myself laughing multiple times, thanks to Margot Robbie's slapstick humor and Ken's self-deprecating humor. The film strikes a perfect balance between its comedy and story, ensuring it never loses sight of its core narrative and themes. The acting in this movie is also spectacular. No one feels miscast, and the emotional authenticity of the actors shine through. You can tell that everyone had a blast during production from the interviews they did for the Barbie movie. Each actor conveys a wide range of emotions, allowing for the audience to genuinely connect with the characters on an emotional scale. The film not only offers well-written, fun characters, but also introduces some great songs to go in with it. The best part of this movie's music is the song sung by Ken, titled I'm Just Ken. The song is genuinely incredible, despite not taking itself seriously.
I'm just Ken, where I see love, she sees a friend. What will it take for her to see the man behind the tent and fight for me?
The song plays during a pivotal moment in Ken's arc, where he questions his identity and self-worth. This scene defies expectations as it battles traditional notions of masculinity, and inspires those struggling with societal pressures to celebrate their uniqueness. The I'm Just Ken music scene impacts Ken's character arc significantly, marking a turning point for his self-awareness and helps with his growth a bit later on in the movie. Overall, the movie offers many great qualities, exploring the themes of self-worth, beauty standards, and humanity in a carefully constructed manner. However, that doesn't mean the film is without its problems. Barbie is far from perfect, and despite its incredible charms, it has its share of shortcomings. One noticeable flaw involves Mattel itself, which leads me to introduce our guest, Skye Spixru, who will be discussing her criticisms of Barbie.
Hey introverted robot, thanks for inviting me to talk about Barbie, because it is a topic I have quite a bit to say. If you've watched my own video on Barbie, you know that. But anyway, Barbie is a film that I love, and I think it's great. I had a fantastic time with it. But there's just one big issue, and the issue is Mattel, or capitalism in general. Let me explain. Barbie is a film that makes a lot of points about a lot of things. It's as part of a feminist filmmaking, it's really, really great because it is tackling everything in a way that's very lighthearted, but still taking everything seriously. All of its aspects of, criticizing the patriarchy, all doing it well. At the same time that it shows the impact of the patriarchy on the lives of women, it also shows that men also suffer under the patriarchy. Like how Ken at the end needs to learn not to value himself by what he has. He isn't just his girlfriend or the house he has or whatever car he has. He is his own person who doesn't need to define himself by what he, owns. At the same time, Barbie, who is a representation of the highest beauty standard for women, is still someone who at a certain point sees herself as not pretty enough, as not good enough. And the film then highlights the contradictions of living life as a woman under the patriarchy in a way that is maybe a bit too overt, but definitely makes sense and works beautifully as a critique of the patriarchy. But that's the way to read this film, ignoring Mattel. Because here's the thing, this film, there's a very good reason why it was made. It's to sell Barbie. So having this film focus so hard on elements of feminism, of criticizing the patriarchy, of everything like that, the point of this film existing for Mattel isn't to actually have any commentary on that. I mean, Mattel even said this isn't a feminist film, which is just baffling to me, but besides the point. For them, this film exists to sell Barbie. They humanize Barbie. They say, oh my god, even a doll can't live up to the standards for women in the world, even though Barbie as a product has perpetuated a lot of the issues with body standards for women and, over-sexualization, everything relating to that. But they humanize Barbie. They say, see, Barbie's the same as you. She also suffers, which makes you more endeared to Barbie as a product. More endeared to what Barbie represents. She represents the struggle for women to live in the world under patriarchy. And she's not just a corporate product, not just, capitalism working to make more money. The same for Ken. Even though I really like the idea of the film using Ken to make a point about how men value themselves by what they have because of the expectations put on them by the patriarchy, and that you should value yourself by who you are, not what you have. I think it's an amazing concept. But it also just exists to be like, see, Ken is good. The I am Kenough meme and everything relating to that. It's just a way for marketing to be like, see, Ken, he represents men and boys, and he's separate from Barbie. He's his own person, and you should appreciate him, which in turn sells more Ken dolls. I find it very hard to fully enjoy this film because I see it as a cynical corporate product. I know this is not what Greta Gerwig intended when she was making the film. I know this is not what Margot Robbie intended. And I know that what Greta Gerwig put across in her film was very genuine in terms of her experiences living as a woman, as well as just being a mother, which is something she took a lot from when making this film. It was the idea of motherhood. But the film doesn't feel any less cynical, any less corporate, because that's why Mattel agreed to make it, to sell their Barbie dolls. So even though I really like the film, and I think you should watch it because it is good and well made and a good critique on a lot of aspects of life as we see it today, I don't think I can say that you should support this film, see it in theaters. because this film's about to cross $1 billion at the box office, and I'm really worried that this is going to send the wrong message. I mean, Mattel is planning a lot of other films based on their other IPs now because of the success of Barbie. It's basically the same as the Super Mario Bros. Film being a huge advertisement for Nintendo and Super Mario. And even though that was a fun film that was pretty well made, it's still that. And I still don't really love that films like this manage to make so much money, because we're basically paying to watch advertisements for companies. And I think that's really awful, and I find it very hard to support that. And it takes away from a lot of the meaning that the story may have, because the meaning I got from Barbie in terms of everything relating to its critique of the patriarchy and feminism and its exploration of its characters is just gone to me, because I'm thinking this was made to sell Barbie, to make me like the product, not to make me like the character, not to connect me with the story. So, yeah, that's basically my one big issue with the Barbie film. I still really like it, so please don't lynch me in the comments. But yeah, thanks Introverted Robot for inviting me to talk here.
And thank you, Skye, for being part of this video. I couldn't have said it better myself. For those of you who want to see Skye's Barbie video, there will be an icon on the top of the screen or a link in the description below if you're old-fashioned. Skye's channel will be linked in the pinned comment down below. I really recommend supporting her. She's an excellent content creator. She also helped out with my Andor video, so go show her some love. The final criticism I have for this movie is with the rules of the world between Barbie Land and the real world. It can be inconsistent at times and makes me question a lot about the film. So the reason why Barbie is depressed is because her owner is depressed herself. The film then goes on to explain that the human world and Barbie Land are connected on some level.
Oh, you've done it. You've opened a portal, and now there is a rift in the continuum that is the membrane between Barbie Land and the real world. What do I have to do? You have to go to the real world, and you have to find the girl who's playing with you. But usually there's some kind of separation. Thanks. There's the girl and the doll, and never the twain shall cross. The girl who's playing with you, she must be sad, and her thoughts and feelings and humanness are interfering with your dullness.
So the fact that Barbie Land can even change at all without the human to allow it is not what the rules had implied at the beginning, or at least not what I had interpreted it out to be. So when the Kens started changing Barbie Land, from what we've been told, it shouldn't even be possible unless the human wanted it to happen or imagined it to happen. The film doesn't exactly go into too much depth about its own rules, but I would say most of the stuff that changes in the world makes sense. It makes sense for the mother to include Barbies that are discontinued due to her being around a lot longer to be able to play with those Barbies. However, throughout the film, there will be a couple of instances of how certain things can happen because of said rules. But for the most part, I would say it remains pretty consistent throughout the film and provides logical explanations along the way. It's only a couple times during the film that I questioned the rules it had set up, but overall I think it's impressive that the writing of this film managed to stay so solid throughout its runtime. In light of recent discussions surrounding the Barbie movie, I think it's important to focus on a more comprehensive analysis on the film, addressing genuine criticisms surrounding the film, rather than being swayed by misconceptions. The discourse surrounding the movie has been rife with criticisms, often mislabeling it as woke and anti-men. However, from what we've just established earlier on in the video, this could not be further from the truth. The movie does indeed embrace modern societal values by promoting diversity and empowerment. It features a rich tapestry of characters from different backgrounds, cultures, and abilities, fostering an environment of inclusivity. The film recognizes the importance of representation and promotes positive role models for children and for grown men and women alike. The film's commitment to championing diversity serves as a large step towards breaking down stereotypes and encouraging a more accepting society. However, amongst the emphasis on inclusivity, it is important to recognize that the movie does not support an anti-men sentiment. Rather, it encourages itself to present a story that empowers all individuals, regardless of gender, to pursue their dreams and to help find themselves as people. As viewers, it is essential to approach the Barbie movie with an open mind, acknowledging its attempts to navigate contemporary issues and resonate with diverse audiences. The film encourages us to celebrate the triumphs of progress while also recognizing the importance of cooperation and empathy among all individuals, irrespective of gender. The focus on addressing genuine critiques of the Barbie movie is crucial in fostering constructive dialogue about its themes and societal implications. Labeling the film as simply woke or anti-men is an insult to all the effort that was put into the film. All I've got to say left is that this movie is simply just a fun time. I would recommend trying to find some alternative way to watch the movie instead of giving Mattel your money, since it's already giving them ideas to make more movies based upon more Mattel products. Apart from that, despite it being essentially a toy line production, Barbie manages to surpass expectations and stand on its own merits as a genuinely entertaining and heartwarming movie. It is evident that the creators put thought and effort into crafting a cute and fun story that resonates with the viewers, but also something that is much more than that, which is why I recommend checking out Greta Gerwig's other projects if you enjoyed this one. Each of her films have similar themes to one another, so if you felt like the messaging in Barbie really resonated with you, then I would recommend checking out Lady Bird or any of her other projects. Trust me, this is a director you do not want to glance over. And to that marks the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out Skye's channel if you want to see more from her. It was really a pleasure having you on, Skye, and I look forward to collaborating with you again sometime in the future. That's all for now. Be seeing you in my next video. Bye.